Now in this section, moving ahead from the H index, we will be covering some of the author metrics. Now first let us take the I10 index. I10 index is a unique index given by the Google Scholar. Actually, it is you can say this is S10 index. As you will see in the Google Scholar profile, in the right corner, top right corner you can say, you get that bar diagram where you see, as you can see here, I10 index is shown. This index refers to the number of papers with 10 or more citations. It is H index with reference to the authors. So it is shown only in the Google Scholar profile of authors. So you can say that's a proprietary of the Google Scholar. Anyway, it is another indicator, good indicator of the author level metrics, and you will see that it is almost every time higher than the H index. So it gives a good indication especially for the people who have got the lesser number of papers but they have the good impact. So the I10 index may be higher. Okay. So, and we can have the better idea with respect to in contrast to the H index. So that's why the I10 index has been developed as an add-on indicator of the H index by the Google Scholar. G index is an index for quantifying productivity in science based on publication record. It is an author level metrics. It was suggested by Leo Ege in 2006. Ege observed the drawback of the H index. What was the drawback? That it does not take into account the citation scores of the topmost cited articles. So G index is an improvement of the H index in this term. H index does not provide weight to the highly cited article, while the G index gives more weight to the highly cited articles. So to precisely define, for given set of articles ranked in decreasing order of the number of citations that they received, the G index is the unique large number such that the top G articles received together at least G square citations. So this is the precise definition of G index. Now moving to the advantages. What are the advantages of G index? It accounts for the performance of authors' top articles. It might be possible. Why I am saying this, that top articles means a lot. You know the Hurst, the scientist who invented the H index, by his one paper in 2005. And it might be possible that the complete H index of Hurst himself is depending totally upon that particular article, because that is the topmost article. But why it is topmost? Because it has got the greater impact. So why not to give the more weightage to the topmost cited article? So G index focuses on this thing. Most viewed, most assessed, most downloaded articles are given higher weightage. The G index helps to make more apparent the difference between authors' respective impacts. The inflated values of the G index helps to give credit to lowly cited or non-cited papers while giving credit for highly cited papers. Now moving to the disadvantage of G index. After its inception in 2006, it was a great debate that whether it is better than the H index or not. But in real terms, it has not got that pace or that impact on the sciences as the H index has done. So it is not used very frequently. After covering this I10 index and G index, let us discuss some other metrics, author metrics. These are the author IDs. Author IDs are the unique IDs given by databases, unique databases which cover the or cite the, index the articles of the researchers. These author ID include Scopus author ID, Open Researcher and Contributor Identifier, that is called ORC-ID, ResearchGate or RG score, and other miscellaneous, you can say LinkedIn ID is used as author and researcher ID. So why the need of author ID was felt? Because there may be several persons with same surname, same initials. So author ID helps to give that unique identification to the real author. Now let us take us the first author ID, that is Scopus author ID. As we also saw in the previous module when we went for the looking the author preview. In the Scopus or the Scopus author identifier, in this, authors with publication indexed in Scopus are automatically assigned a Scopus author ID. You need not to apply for the author ID. It is an algorithm running within the Scopus database which automatically assigns paper to a unique author identifier using data such as addresses and subject areas. What you have to do? You have to check whether your paper are there completely or not. If not, add your papers. Check if some other person's article are there in your profile. If yes, remove them. Also check what you have to do. You have to also check for possibility of presence of your multiple profiles in Scopus. It is possible due to your multiple or older affiliations. For ladies, due to change of surname after marriage, it should also be corrected or merged upon. Authors can send the feedback to Scopus and request to merge the multiple accounts for removing any errors and misattributions, etc. The Scopus author preview can be checked freely, and that too all the feedbacks and the merge requests are entertained free of cost. Now moving to the finding Scopus ID. Researchers, faculty often need a Scopus author identification number at time of applying for jobs, grant, etc. Because this ID is the sole criteria, or you can say very easy and effective way of assessing a potential of a researcher. You just provide your unique ID. That employer or that recruiter will just go through that author ID. He or she doesn't need to check all the publications offline. They will just go to that database and they will verify your publications, and your assessment of the potential as a researcher will be done, and that too in a very, very unbiased mode. Now we were on the identifying or locating the author ID in the Scopus database. First, what is the first step? You have to go into the URL of the Scopus free lookup page. This is the Scopus free lookup page. We have also discussed it little bit in the author ID when we were discussing the locating the H index. What is the step 2? Type in your last name, first name or initials to locate your record. If you know your ORC ID, just enter it. We will be discussing the ORC ID after this. What is the step 3? Find your assigned number. Select the appropriate author record and you can view your author identification record. So as we have discussed in the previous module also, you can have the entire of your author profile, author details in this page, as we have seen here, that the H index, documents by author, total citations, and the year-wise citation detail is given in the author details along with the list of publications. Dear learners, let me summarize this section for you. Apart from the H index, that's Hurst index, other two major author level metrics are I10 index and G index. What is the I10 index? I10 index is technically the H10 index, and it is exclusively given by the Google Scholar, and that too freely. G index is the modification of Hurst index and give due credit to the highly cited papers. Moving to the author IDs, we saw that we need the author ID to uniquely identify the researcher. It is required for the grant applications, for applying for jobs, and it gives an unbiased mode for assessing the potential of a researcher. And these kind of author IDs can be found in databases like Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholar. Use these IDs, mention them in your CVs. They help in showing your impact as a researcher by just use of some digits. We will be covering some other author IDs in the next section.